I gotta think of a funny way to open the show.
None of the ways you've opened up the show has been funny so far.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm doing all the work. I'm cutting the clips and doing the thumbnails, so maybe I'm a little too tired to be funny. Ever think about that?
Introducing the Little Giants Podcast, brought to you by Hilitehub,
hosted by Elrics
and Joey Riccatoni. He drops back the pass.
Hey! Welcome to the Little Giants Pod. This is me now. Welcome to the Little Giants Podcast, episode 12. I'm Joey.
I'm Elric.
And we are both loving life right now.
Woo! We eat so healthy and wake up so early. Yeah!
Every day!
Yes!
No fun except for one time a week.
Yes! Yeah. Cheat meal tonight.
Cheat meal.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking, hey, babe, what are we having? She's not going to respond. She's a little upset with me right now. But,
What?
No, she's not.
Okay.
I'm a great guy.
Let's air this out on the podcast. This is the right medium to do this.
Hey, babe.
Babe, check out the podcast this week. I apologized over it.
I know I didn't say it to your face, but I said it to millions of viewers on air.
Millions.
No, we only got 7 viewers on the last podcast, but, yeah, I don't know. We're gonna Uber eat something good.
I'm stuck between chicken wings and poutine.
Chicken wings are pretty freaking good. Not gonna say goat because that's an overused statement, as is mood, as is this, as a caption.
So, like, the thing I would say is that chicken wings are so goat, and, like, if you get pizza with the chicken wings, that's a big mood, right?
And you take a picture and then you caption it this.
Yeah, this. All of the this.
Why can't someone just break the mold and be, like, envious of this moment?
That's weird, too.
Well, this is this is 100% worse than that.
This is us.
Who is us? Who's on first? Awful start. So today...
I think that was fun.
No, it was good. So we're going to be... It's the second show of the week. We're going to be giving our picks, our power rankings. We got a new segment called Would You Rather? And we're giving out our mid-season awards today, going into Week 10, and we got our Hilitehub Game of the Week preview. So, stick around for all the wild times and the wild rides, because we're kicking it off now.
And then this is where the theme song comes in? Or
No,
we just had the theme
it was
song?
back. It was back before.
So pretend like the ref's blowing the whistle and now we can kick off.
Yeah, that was the national anthem. This is the start of the game. So let's get right into the picks.
Yeah, Paulie's picks.
Paulie's picks, squawk. Once we get that bird in here, it's gonna be a good time. Got a burp. Riff for a second.
So I was walking down the street. And
singing do diddy diddy dum diddy.
Yeah, exactly.
So picks. We got 12 games, 1,000-to-1 odds. You put $2 down, you might win 2,000.
Let's do it.
These picks are gold this week. We're feeling better. We've been on a little rough.
Yeah.
We were real hot the first couple episodes.
Yeah.
We were getting.
But that's not our fault. The NFL was like, oh, like there were so many.
Fixed.
There were so many upsets and like weird games of like good teams playing poorly.
Upsets. I was thinking fixed. Not fixed, though. Upsets. Upsets for sure. Gematria. You ever heard about that?
No.
There's this guy who is on YouTube. I think he's probably been banned several times by now because of the egregious claims he makes, but he's like, Gematria is the code of ancient civilizations. He's like, he'll be if you name any, like Eddie Van Halen died. He was born in the year 1977, which means 77 relates to these letters, which means these things, like, and then he like...
It's like one of those things where like you create these relationships like just like
yeah,
however you please, and you're like, look, it's all coming together.
All part of the plan. All right. And here we go. Time for the picks. That was a good transition. Thank you very much. So, first game on the dock, we got Baltimore at the lowly New England Patriots. Baltimore's favorited -7. Who you got?
I'm going Baltimore. New England barely squeaked by the New York Jets, which are head and shoulders the worst team in football. It was a good win. It was a feel-good win for them, but I still don't think they're going to be competitive with Baltimore.
I got the Patriots. I think they show up versus Baltimore historically. That's kind of a rivalry-ish type game in terms of AFC. So I think they're going to bring it. I don't think they'll win, but it'll be within 7. That's what I got. Tampa Bay, Carolina. Tampa Bay, as we all know, got absolutely pumped. Who you got? They're favorited -6 against Carolina. Christian McCaffrey also might not play.
Yeah. Tampa Bay? More like Tampa? No way. I'm going Carolina.
That is good.
Thank you.
I got Tampa Bay though.
Okay.
I think they're gonna rebound big time, and I think they're gonna have. I think this is a statement win, especially within the division, and they know they have.
But again, it's one of those division games. I think they're always closer than you think.
Right. I think they're always closer, but it can also go the other way.
Teddy Two Gloves.
He has been going off, but they were so much more explosive with Christian McCaffrey. I think that
they're gonna miss him for sure. But I think that defense is better than people give it credit for.
Mm-hmm.
It's young, but it's talented.
Yeah, for sure. Houston, Cleveland. We got my Brownies favored -3. Nick Chubb possibly back this week.
Nick Chubb back. Myles Garrett back after the bye. Baker Mayfield's supposed to play, all that COVID stuff is kind of fine. Okay, so then I'm going Cleveland.
I got Cleveland as well, and I think they're gonna not be playing in a hurricane this week, and it's gonna be good for them. And Rashard Higgins is gonna have a big game. Still pounding the table for that guy.
The Texans are slowly becoming one of the worst franchises in the NFL. They've made some moves. Apparently, they fired one of the best media coordinators in the league, and so a lot of people are going what are the Texans doing? They're just
right. JJ Watt is constantly in the news being I don't really know what's going on here.
Yeah, so
get that guy out of there.
No matter how good Deshaun Watson is, the rest of that entire franchise just sucks. So
yeah. Okay, Washington, Detroit. This is a straight up pick 'em. Who you got?
Give me Detroit. Give me those Tigers.
Give me Lions, Tigers, and Bears. Yeah, I'm definitely taking Detroit. I like them in this kind of shootout scenario. I think they can edge it out, but I don't know. Is Alex Smith starting for almost dead named him. Don't cancel me.
The podcast just got taken down. How did they do that? It's not even done recording.
All 7 of our viewers just reported us.
I think he is though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I'm making an audible. Downset Hut, Red 80. I got Washington. I think Alex Smith has a big one.
What?
Yeah. No. Jacksonville, Green Bay. Green Bay favored of -13.
Give me Green Bay.
Yeah, me too. Bunch of mopes over there in Jacksonville.
They had a brush with relevancy 3 years ago, and now they're just back to being the Jags.
It's one of those things where you're probably in the 8th grade, and you weren't watching football 3 years ago, and you're like, oh my. I think literally the same thing when I was in middle school or high school. It was the Jaguars went to the AFC Championship, and it happened again, and it's just going to be another one of those things where people are like, they weren't the doormat of the league.
It's true.
Because it's Cleveland has been the doormat. Detroit has been the doormat. But they're never on, the Jacksonville level where it's they're the doormat plus an awful market with bad history.
No one cares about them. They have no talent. It's just
Yeah.
I know one Jacksonville fan, and I'm like, why? How did you get here? He's in Thunder Bay.
Thank God he's
Tim
out
Handy.
there.
Shout out Tim Handy.
Handy, man. Philly versus those New York Giants. Who you got?
Philly, what's the spread?
-3.5 for the Eagles.
I don't love this, but I'm gonna go Philly.
Philly special. I got the Giants. I think Daniel Jones is honestly a solid quarterback. I don't get all this buzz about them.
No,
trying to
I
get
don't
him
think
out of
they
here.
should move on
I think
from
he's a
him.
good quarterback, man.
He's got all the tools. He's a level-headed guy. I think his teammates like him.
He's a New York guy, man. It's like if Eli Manning could win a Super Bowl, I don't doubt that Daniel Jones could eventually.
They just
one
need
day
to
with a
build
good
that team.
around him.
Yeah, they just need to build that team.
New York, the Giants have always been a defensive dominant juggernaut, you
Yeah.
know? And that's all you have to be in that division.
Right.
Especially like
Right now?
the past 6 years.
And the thing is, this division is still wide open. Like, if New York wins this game, like, I don't know where they stand in the division, but they're right in it.
Well, because Philly leads and they're 3-5-1, and
3-4-1.
3-4-1, and I think the Giants have 2 wins. So,
Right.
I mean, it's still literally anyone's division right now. I said back, I think in like the first or second episode, that if Alex Smith became the starter, that Washington would win the division. So I don't know if I still believe in that, but who knows. Chargers versus Miami. Miami's on the up and up. They're favored at -2.
I think Miami's defense is really good. I love Herbert, but the Chargers' defense hasn't been playing really well. Joey Bosa's out. Mm-hmm. They're all kind of nicked up, and the play, like, Anthony Lynn is probably going to find a way to blow it. So the point spread is close enough where I'm just like, yeah, Miami's probably going to win a close one.
Yeah, for sure. I'm feeling the same way, especially with Bosa out. I think Tua is going to be hard to contain, and he's going to be extending plays a lot, and it's going to cause a lot of problems for them. So I have Miami as well. Buffalo versus Arizona. Arizona's the favorite, -2.5.
Give me the Cardinals.
Swash. Tweet. I got Buffalo. I think after that win, they're back on the horse. I was worried about Josh Allen. My older brother was giving me some flack. He was watching the episode, so if you're watching at home, hey. But
I'm not chewing gum this time.
But I was a little worried about Josh Allen because their offense really couldn't get moving for a couple games there, but it seems like they completely solved that. And Josh Allen's just at his best when he's improvising. You know, that's the kind of guy he is, and when he's being an athlete. Obviously, they don't want him running people over like he's capable of doing, or hurdling guys in the middle of the field, but you know, when John Brown's playing too, it makes a big difference too, because Allen can scramble and it opens a lot up down the field. And
I think they're a team that's built to play with a lead, because like if they have a hot start and they play with a lead, they can kind of play to their strengths. And I think like a guy like Stephon Diggs doesn't check out. I think if they fall behind early, Stephon Diggs will check out.
Yeah,
and then that's their best receiver, right? So
was it against the Titans that they lost that tight one? And he was offside, and it kind of cost them 5 yards on that closing drive.
I mean, we're excited for this game. We're gonna talk about it a little later, but
that's the one we got slated. But I think it's a good one. So yeah, we'll talk about that more. Denver, Las Vegas. Las Vegas favored at -4. Who you got?
Divisional game. I think the Broncos, you know, they get up for games against the Raiders. Like I think that is like the most bitter rivalry in the division. And so I think it's going to be a close game. Mm-hmm. I think even if Las Vegas wins, it won't be by more than 4. So I'm going to go Denver here.
I think you might have just swayed me a bit. Yeah, you know what? I'm switching. I'm going Denver as well. You know why? Because the Raiders need to lose so the Browns can get a wild card spot. So we're going Denver. Let's go Bronx. Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh favored at -7.5.
I'm going Pittsburgh. I don't think they're going to come out flat against a divisional team like they did against the Cowboys. I think they kind of learned their lesson to not take teams with poor records lightly.
Right.
And so I think they're going to come out. They're going to beat the Bengals. I love Joe Burrow, but I just don't think they're talented enough to hang with the Steelers right now.
Right. I don't think Cincy's going to win this one, but I think they will get it within 7 points. I think Burrow is obviously
he's a
a
dog.
lot better than Garrett Gilbert.
Yeah.
I think Cincinnati's an overall better team. So I'm rolling with them. I think they're going to cover the spread. Seattle, versus the Rams. The Rams are -2 favorites, which I don't really understand.
Seattle in a bounce back game.
100%.
Yeah.
I think they slap around the Rams pretty bad.
Yeah.
That would be my guess, but we will
But
see.
I'm taking them to not lose by more than 2, you know.
Yeah. Scoring prediction?
No.
No?
I mean, I'll give it. I think the Rams still have a good offense, and Seattle always keeps it like they're always hanging around with whatever team they're playing, like you say. So
I'm going to say 41-38.
oof, that's a high scoring game. I was gonna say like 28-21
All right.
for Seattle.
Okay. And final one, San Fran versus the Saints. Saints are favored at -9. Had that big 38-6 win on Monday night last week.
Yeah, that G League team in San Francisco right now is just not going to be able to hang with New Orleans. They're rolling right now. I feel like Sean Payton has kind of figured out his guys now and what he has and how he needs to use them.
Yeah.
And I think that defense is starting to kind of pick up a little bit,
Yeah.
so it's not going to be close.
Yeah, no, I think I'm taking the Saints as well. 100%. 100%. So there are your picks. If you want to reference them for your Sunday picks, head over to highlighthubfootball.wordpress.com. Still have not connected the URL. And click on the weekly picks page. They're all there with both of our picks because they're not always the same. So you can reference those and meet in the middle and make yours. So
Well, you can't really meet in the middle of it.
yeah, you never know. Yeah, so there's the picks, and check them out. Share them with your friends. Tweet us at Hilitehub. Actually, no, that's not even
Do
a
we
Twitter.
have a Twitter?
I have a Twitter.
Is it Highlight Hub?
No, it's just my name. Tweet me.
Joey Riccatoni.
Joey Riccatoni.
Or tweet at me, Elric Allison.
Do you have a Twitter?
Yeah.
Why don't you tweet?
It's mostly for like science stuff. I follow a bunch of scientists.
Ooh. I was going to name a scientist, but I couldn't think
Yeah.
of one. Football.
All right.
All right. So, it's time for
The power rankings.
What did you think I was going to
I
say?
thought it was the Would You Rather segment.
It's not that one
The
yet.
power rankings.
More power. All right. Power rankings brought to you by Power Bill.
Powerade.
Powerade. Where is it? You have a Powerade?
No.
You didn't bring me one. Oh. Oh, because your picks are on there. I would say
Yeah.
grab my phone, but it's filming because I am the workhorse of this work relationship. All good.
The house that Joey Riccatoni built.
Okay, power rankings. Let's do it this week. Let's go. You give yours.
Okay.
And then I'll give mine instead of going back and forth.
All right.
Because I actually got to rewrite mine down. So you go,
Okay.
explain all
All
your
right.
picks.
So at my number 5 spot, I got Seattle. I still think they're a contender, but after the game against Buffalo, I'm a little less certain about that defense. And it's like if Russ doesn't play perfectly, they're not going to win games because they're always so tight anyways, and that's with Russ playing unbelievably well.
Yeah.
You know? So they're my number 5 spot. I still think I'm still happy with them as my Super Bowl pick, but you know, that defense is just not that promising right now. And I
Yeah.
think Carlos Dunlap had a huge game against Buffalo, and I think the more he gets involved, the better that defense is going to be.
Right.
But
Jamal Adams, too. He hasn't...
yeah, get him healthy, get him back up to speed. I think they'll be better than they showed in Buffalo, but it was just really bad.
Yeah.
My number 4 spot is Baltimore.
Okay.
They were at my 5 last week. But, I mean, they came out. They played a really good game against the Colts. Nothing flashy. They held the Colts to 10 points. You know, the defense is playing well as soon as they get all their guys back. And Lamar Jackson is still explosive enough to win games. I don't know when you get to the playoffs if he's going to be able to win games, but... And they kind of just need to let Lamar be Lamar. Don't make him a pocket passer. Don't try and have him be a pocket passer. Let him be Lamar, and you saw that against the Colts again.
Right. Well, I think that's the issue is that other, good defenses can force him to be a pocket passer.
Yeah.
That's the tough thing. So they're definitely going to be... it'll be easy enough for them against
Yeah.
those teams that don't have that going forward in the regular season. But playoff-wise, everyone's dialed in,
Yeah. My number 3, I got New Orleans. That big win in Tampa Bay, I'm usually a little hesitant to be convinced after one game, but just the way they showed up and they were clicking on all cylinders, like offense, defense, special teams. You got a QB that's been there before. You got a head coach that's been there before. You got, for my money, the best running back in the league.
Yeah.
You got one of the best receivers in the league.
Definitely.
And if they're all on the same page, all clicking, they're one of the most complete teams in football, if not 100%. The most.
And the supporting cast isn't bad either. I mean, Taysom Hill, we've talked about at length.
Yeah, and they've figured out how to use him more than just 3 or 4 plays a game. Like
Right.
he's getting a lot more snaps, and they're using him in even more creative ways than we're used to seeing.
Right. As weird of a comparison as this sounds, it's like Tyreek Hill was not a number 1 receiver when he first came in the league. He was a gadget and punt return guy. And I'm not comparing the athleticism of the two, but they're
all the things that they can do for your offense, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And you know what? Watching Taysom Hill bothers me because I'm like, if Tim Tebow just would have gotten his ego out of the way, he could have been that for some team.
Yeah, I think
if he was not like, I'm only playing quarterback, I won't change positions, I won't be used as a gadget player. If he hadn't done that, he would have been the first Taysom Hill.
For sure, but
he's a little slower than Taysom Hill. It
also takes a very imaginative and advanced coach like Sean Payton, though, because I think Tebow just would have been relegated to being a tight end because that's what they wanted to put him at, and he would have been like a hand in the dirt, push the sled and catch a couple passes kind of guy. Like, because we're talking.
Yeah, I mean, if the situation was right,
now.
but I still think that like.
Yeah, if he
they're
was
the same kind of guy.
If he was in Taysom Hill's position, 100%, he could have been like, elite.
My number 2 spot, I got Kansas City.
Okay.
They just, again, we always talk about it. They haven't really been tested that much. Like that game against Carolina was really close. Mm-hmm. But again, I'm really high on Carolina, and Pat Mahomes had himself a huge game. Mm-hmm. And so I just, they haven't done anything for me to be like, they're not legit.
Right. They're
that
still
defense,
defending champs.
Yeah, they're still the defending champs, and they're winning games, and the other teams that we had above them have lost games. Mm-hmm. So they're going to keep climbing until they lose.
Okay.
And then number 1, we've talked about them, Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not convinced from that close game against the Cowboys that they're not the real deal. Like, it was like a, get caught off guard, show up a little flat. Like, that's normal when you come in and play a team that's looked horrible.
Yeah, like, not just like, oh, they're not a great team. It's like they're the laughing stock of the league right now.
They're starting Garrett Gilbert. Who is that? So it's normal to kind of be caught off guard. You have no film on a guy like Garrett Gilbert. You can't prepare for him. Mm-hmm. So I'm not worried about Pittsburgh at all, even after the Cowboys game. Definitely. They're still my number 1 team.
And it's not like they don't have amazing receivers and one of the best running backs in the league as well.
Yeah.
So they're not slouches in that sense. It's just without Dak and with all the injuries to their O-line, they're not what they were, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, the talent's still there. They came to play, but whatever.
So yeah, that's my top 5.
That's pretty good. So quick rundown, just from 5 to 1, just to cap it off.
One moment, please. Okay, so 5 Seattle, 4 Baltimore, 3 New Orleans, 2 Kansas City, number 1 Pittsburgh.
Okay. All right. Number 5, I got the Tampa Bay Bucs.
Still got them.
Still got them. I still think they're a top 5 team. I think that was a rough loss. I think those things happen. Just
for sure.
Tom Brady, I think with him at the helm, it's like moving on to Cincinnati.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I think Tampa Bay is my sixth team.
Yeah.
They're not like falling out of the picture for me. It's just,
is it over for Tampa Bay?
Is Tom Brady retiring?
Which was probably a segment. Both were probably segments on First Take.
Yep.
Suck. But I got Tampa. Still totally believe in them. I still think they're top. I don't think there are what's the math on that? 27 teams?
No.
That could even sniff their jock straps right now. So I still got them in the top 5. Got them at number 5. Rough loss bumps them down a couple spots, but I think they're going to rebound. I think Tom Brady is not going to fold, and I think I still totally believe in the AB move, and I think he's going to show up this week.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing about the AB move that I'm a little concerned about is, like, Bruce Arians has already kind of come out against him, even after the game. He's like, we need to throw the ball to Mike Evans more.
Right.
And it's like, Mike Evans got 6 targets, AB got 6 targets, Chris Godwin got 6 targets, Gronk got 6 targets.
Right.
How much more do you want him to distribute the ball?
Right. More than anything, their offensive line needs to hold, but I think the thing that separates Tom Brady and the system he came from is adjustments. Halftime adjustments, mid-season adjustments. Remember, in their last Super Bowl run, Gronk turned into a hand-in-the-dirt tight end, and they were a double tight end set power running team. So they're going to make the needed adjustments. Tom has enough pull to do those things in Arians' offense, and he's going to say, look, we can't be having these long developing plays. I'm getting killed, and Tristan Wirfs isn't ready to protect for long periods of time yet. So I think they're going to make those moves, and we'll see this Sunday. But number 4, I got Green Bay. They're back. To me, they were another team where they were still in the conversation,
for sure.
right? I don't think the San Francisco game is like that.
It doesn't really mean much to me.
It doesn't mean much, but I was kind of like looking more and more. And they've also been dealing with a lot of injuries. Yeah. So as guys start to get healthier down the stretch, they could be a team that just switches it on. And I see Aaron Rodgers as a guy, especially the way he's carried himself this season, and his general love for the game that it seems like there is, and the looming Jordan Love thing, especially as the season gets more and more down the line and the transition team starts to come out more in terms of the front office and what the future of the Packers are going to look like. I think he's gearing up and he's ready for a run. So I got him at the number 4.
And I mean, Devontae Adams is playing out of his mind.
Yeah, that thing, it's like the win against San Francisco didn't mean much, but his performance and Rodgers' performance, it was like that.
They just looked like they were throwing the ball around in the park, like they were just having a great time,
And that means a lot in terms of that connection. That means a lot in terms of a playoff run. So I got them, and Aaron Jones is
he's back.
Top 3 guy, top 5 guy, top 5 within their scheme as well, playing with the quarterback he plays with. Number 3, I got the Saints.
Yep.
They're in. They're looking good. Totally different team with Michael Thomas around. Defense is coming alive. All the things we've talked about. Alvin Kamara, Taysom Hill, Michael Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders. They're very, very, very talented with all of those guys on. And I think Drew Brees is rejuvenated having Michael Thomas back out. I think that win is something that's going to compound. And especially if they now have the tiebreakers against Tampa Bay, that's going to go a long way. And I think that's going to keep driving them forward, right? Number 2, Chiefs.
Yep. So same top 3.
Yeah, same top 3. So Chiefs, all the same reasons. Patty Mahomes.
It's just hard to bet against the guy, right?
Yeah,
it's just
he's just such a game changer, man. And Tyreek Hill, how could you not love
Travis
him?
Kelce, 3rd in the league in receiving yards as a tight end.
That's crazy. Jackson Mahomes.
Best
TikToker I've ever seen.
Yeah, agreed.
So how could you not love him? And number 1, we got the Steelers. This whole run, my Super Bowl pick, got to keep repeating it. This all lies on Ben Roethlisberger staying healthy going forward. I think that's the only thing that's going to be able to hold them back. Totally believe in their defense. I love Juju. Love Chase Claypool. James Conner's an animal.
Yep.
And I think they got what it takes. And that's the thing, man. Playoff football, November, December, that changes everything. And I think they're the best equipped to win in those months because it had been.
And your quarterback can play in cold weather.
100%. And he can play through injuries. So
yeah.
The Patriots aren't around anymore to dominate December going forward, so I think that crown now goes to the Steelers because I don't think Baltimore is legit in that sense. They're
No,
not on my
it's
top.
not Baltimore. Kansas City is gonna.
It's gonna be Kansas City
Yeah.
and Pittsburgh
Yeah.
for sure in the AFC. That's the way I feel at least. And so yeah, that's the top 5. But let's quick little thing. Let's talk about the Tennessee Indianapolis game last night.
Yeah.
Tennessee went to the AFC Championship last year, led by 2 touchdowns twice in that AFC Championship game against the Chiefs. Started the year off 5-0, looking real hot, and after that Steelers game, they've just been wrecked, man. And I don't know. Do you think they're frauds?
I don't think they're frauds. They are what I kind of see them as like a good, not great team.
Right.
You know, I think that playoff run was entirely because Derrick Henry was just beating up on guys that were sore. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't think it was like, oh my God, look at this team. Look how amazing this team is playing. It was like Derrick Henry. Like, you don't see often that teams win playoff games with their quarterback throwing for like 75 yards.
Right.
And they won 2 games where Ryan Tannehill didn't throw over like 15 passes. Mm-hmm. It was entirely driven by Derrick Henry, and I still think late in the season you will see the Titans start to pick up again, and Derrick Henry's going to put up like huge numbers at the end of the season.
Right.
Just because that's the kind of team and kind of running back he is.
Right.
But yeah, they're not contenders to me. Like even last year in the AFC Championship, I'm like, yeah, they beat Baltimore. But again, we kind of talked about it. Like Baltimore in the playoffs with Lamar Jackson, it's just like there's still some like uncertainty there.
Definitely, especially
and they beat the
against great
Patriots.
defenses.
They beat the Patriots that like you kind of felt like everyone knew it was the end of that run.
Yeah, that was like Muhammad Ali in his last bout, you know.
So like the AFC Championship run didn't mean as much to me as it like the media made it out to be, where it's like Tennessee's the real deal,
right? Because they're I get what you're saying. There wasn't really anyone on the level of Kansas City.
Yeah,
Houston, who also had a lead on Kansas City in that first round, were not built to win a Super Bowl. No one was built to beat San Francisco in the AFC except for Kansas City. No one would have beat San Francisco in the Super Bowl last year except for them. So
right.
I don't know if they're frauds or not, but I do think that game is drastically different if AJ Brown catches that first pass down the sideline that he dropped on the 3rd down conversion. That would have been a touchdown. I think that would have given them 14-3 lead.
Yeah.
So I think that would have been tough, and then they wouldn't have been able to pound the ball with Nyheim Hines, who ran all over.
He had an insane game.
All over the Titans. But now you have the Colts, who are 6-3.
6-3, great defense, 2 really good running backs. Jonathan Taylor and Nyheim Hines. I love those guys.
Yeah.
You know, my boy Phillip Rivers, I always got a soft spot for him. Part of me is always rooting for that really unathletic guy.
That fertile man.
Yeah, that fertile man.
But yeah, man, that's it's interesting, and it makes me, as a Browns fan, goes back. It's like, how legit was that win against the Colts?
And again, it's kind of like you can't look at games like that in a vacuum. It's like the matchup makes the fight,
right?
You know, so it's all just the way different teams stack up against each other. Mm-hmm. And so, like, who knows? You could see the Titans take down some of these, like, top-tier teams. Like, they were right in it with the Steelers.
Right.
And they had the lead on the Steelers, didn't they? Did they not?
I think at one point they did, yes.
But anyways, it was a really close game. And then they come out and they lose to Indy by 10 points.
Right.
Or 14 points. So it's like...
Tough call.
And again, divisional games and all that jazz.
Right. So, yeah, a lot of divisional games going on right now. Yeah. But we digress. Let's do a little Would You Rather.
A nice little segment to cleanse our palates.
Cleanse the palates before our mid-season awards. An award.
And
the child mentioned a check. Christmas around the corner.
All right.
Not mid-season awards. Would you rather start a franchise, not a team. You're just starting a franchise. You're picking all the players. Would you rather start a franchise with Lamar Jackson or Kyler Murray?
Kyler Murray. And it's
No
not close.
question?
It's not close.
Yeah, me too. 100%
It
Kyler.
is not close.
So let's shift that. Kyler Murray or Tua?
That's a little tougher. I'm still going Kyler Murray.
Okay.
I think, like, everyone's like, oh, he's so small. But, like, Kyler Murray is built sturdy. Mm-hmm. And so, like, the size thing is not, like, an injury concern for me, while it is with Tua a little bit. And I don't know, he just is so much more dynamic than Tua. I think Tua's going to be great. Mm-hmm. I think he's got a super high ceiling, but I'm going Kyler.
Yeah, I think it's definitely hard to call after 2 games, but man, it was just like watching Tua throw the ball is pretty. I think Kyler's working with a lot better receiving talent right now.
For sure.
And a lot of his big plays are more so jump balls, contested catches, deep throws, and
it's like guys who are open deep.
Right. It's a lot of that going on. Not taking any of that away from him. And he does make a lot of big plays scrambling the ball, but there's something about Tua when you watch him throw the ball.
He does. You just like...
There's a lot more confidence in it in his throw. It's just looking from that small serving sample and him in college coming in and winning the national championship at halftime. Especially that touchdown throw that won them the game.
I think both guys have like the it factor. I think both guys... You know, I was a little unsure about Kyler coming out, but he's totally convinced me, and I'm all on the Kyler hype train.
Definitely. I remember me and our boy Killa Cam, who we reference a lot, diehard Arizona fan. We were both like, "Don't draft Kyler. Keep Josh Rosen." We were both hard on the Chosen Rosen train, and that guy's gotten a horrible rap. I don't know.
I mean, you got to feel bad for that guy.
I feel real bad for him. But so we were both anti Kyler at first, but he's definitely proven it. So I would go Kyler too, but I think we're gonna revisit this one in 4 more weeks.
Yes, yeah.
See what's going on, because I am just Kyler. Like
I know it's not a by a wide margin for me.
Yeah, I'm real close with the Tua. Would you this one is a little tough. Would you rather Alvin Kamara right now?
Okay.
Or Adrian Peterson in this prime?
Adrian Peterson
with the current state of the game.
Current state of the game is a little different, but I do think there's like you see, there's Tennessee and there's Cleveland that like there's kind of been a shift back towards a power offense a little bit.
Right.
And so I think Adrian Peterson in his prime, he carried the Vikings to the playoffs with Christian Ponder as his quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think, like, if you put Christian Ponder in that New Orleans offense, do you think Kamara can carry that team to the playoffs?
See, that's the thing, though. You never see, in the same way you would never see Adrian Peterson lined up in the slot, you barely see Alvin Kamara lined up in single back formation.
It's a tough comparison to make because they're such different players. But I just think...
You as a coach, would you rather be a power running game? In today's state of the game, would you rather be built like that or built as the widespread team?
See, I would rather be built as a power team because so many teams are doing the widespread offense that defenses have kind of changed. Linebackers are getting slimmer and more like coverage linebackers. Like there's safety linebacker hybrids playing linebacker now. There's less of an emphasis on like the nose tackle, like that big guy who clogs up the middle. So I think there is a market for power offenses, and that's how I would build my team.
Yeah.
But if Kyler is my quarterback, like if this is all in one stream,
let's just play it all in one stream.
If Kyler is my quarterback,
Kyler and AP or Kyler and Kamara?
Kyler and Kamara for sure, because I don't think Kyler can play in a power offense.
Yeah, he
needs
center,
the spread. He needs the spread offense.
Would be great.
Because you can't really run a read option in a power offense, you know.
I don't know. Something about AP running the read option too seems a little weird.
Well, AP, none of his great runs or none of his great years came from the shotgun. He always had a fullback in front of him, and like, you know, power eye. Like that's the kind of running back he is.
Right.
And so, if Kyler's my quarterback, I'm going Kamara.
Okay.
If I'm building a team not with Kyler as my quarterback and I'm building it as a power team, like which is what I would do, I'm going Peterson.
See, because my thing with the Browns comparison, it's like, yes, Nick Chubb is a power back. However, he's a good receiver, man. Like, he's mossed some people in ways that I've never seen Adrian Peterson really do more than catch a swing pass or an angle route, right?
You know what? I'm not here for this Adrian Peterson slander.
Dude,
okay?
I love him. I think he's our generation's Jim Brown.
Yeah.
100. I think
I'm the biggest LaDainian Tomlinson fan in the world. I take AP over LaDainian Tomlinson. He's my favorite player of all time. And I say, if I'm building an offense, I'm going Adrian Peterson.
Yeah. It's hard. I think it's harder for the young guns to realize, which is crazy because it was like 13 years ago that Adrian Peterson was drafted, which is wild.
Yeah.
But man, wasn't it against the Chargers when he broke the
296 as a rookie?
single game rushing record? Is like, throw on some AP highlights, man.
Like 8 weeks into his rookie year,
Yeah.
he goes for 296.
Yeah. To me, if
And,
I'm
like-
starting today, I'm going Kamara, personally.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm going with that. I just think there's so much you can do with him that you've seen with the Saints. It's kind of at a point where you can't really be a one-dimensional back anymore. I feel like it's kind of in the
for sure.
same vein as a center that can't shoot the three anymore. You know what I mean?
In basketball.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
there
I
is
know.
a center in football.
Yeah. So they gotta be able to shoot through the perimeter.
If I can't have my center on my pickup basketball team, I don't want him.
Definitely.
But yeah, I know what you mean. The sport has evolved. Mm-hmm. But I just, you know what, man? Like, Adrian Peterson still flashes.
Definitely.
So, imagining him in his prime going against, and like in this softer league where like guys are not coming downhill as much.
Right. I think Jonathan Abram would still try and bring it, but I think he'd get run over.
Yeah, so
All right, next one: Fran Tarkenton or Russell Wilson? Just kidding. Just kidding. Let's actually hurry things up because we are running out of time. Quick midseason award: MVP, Rookie of the Year.
MVP. I want Russ, but he's had such a rough stretch of 2 games where he's gone 8 turnovers in 2 games. Right now, give me Kyler.
Really?
Give me Kyler. Give me Kyler as my MVP and my boy Herbie fully loaded as Rookie of the Year.
Okay, I think I'm either go. I'm still going Russell Wilson, and Josh Allen's back in the conversation to me after this week. Those would be my 2. If I had to pick, I'd still go Russ. I think Russ is the guy, and I'm on the Herbie train. Joe Burrow close second.
Yep.
Last one, Mope of the Year.
So, like our biggest disappointment
Just a
of
Mope.
the year?
It could be anyone. Biggest Mope. Who's the biggest Mope of the year for you?
Well, like Daniel Jones is always up there. But
strictly based on facial expressions.
yeah, strictly based on facial expressions. But I'm going Carson Wentz. I think, he's underperforming, not entirely through his own fault, though. Like, the Eagles are struggling. He's struggling. All the talent around him is gone. Like, they're getting Alshon Jeffrey back this week, so we'll see. But, like, Carson Wentz has been kind of the biggest letdown for me this year.
Okay.
Because I thought he would be like, this is the year where I come out and I'm like, no, you guys were talking about me last year like I wasn't good.
Yeah.
I'm going to prove all of you wrong. And so Carson Wentz is my Mope of the year.
Okay. I'm going with Sam Darnold and his sidekick Adam Gase.
Okay.
They're
Well, I forgot about Adam Gase.
Yeah.
He is...
He's Emperor Mope.
Yeah,
but
he's the
his-
unanimous Mope.
His Mope disciple, Sam Darnold, that guy, not to his own fault, but he's such a Mope. He's moping around. The Jets suck. He's horrible. They stink. I don't ever want to see him again. And Mose Schrute, ladies and gentlemen.
What about your most disappointing player?
Hmm.
Because like Lamar Jackson is up there for me too. coming off of an MVP season. Not like he's having a bad year.
Yeah.
But, like, obviously, teams have kind of
Honestly,
figured him out a little more.
Most disappointing, Jadeveon Clowney.
Yep.
Or J.K. Dobbins, the rookie for the Ravens. I thought he was going to be like...
Well, he had a pretty big game, actually, a couple weeks ago.
I really thought he was going to turn into a RB1. Like, straight
That backfield
up.
is deep, though, in Baltimore.
It definitely
It's
is.
like you got Lamar Jackson probably getting 10 carries a game. You got Mark Ingram. You got Gus Edwards. And then you got J.K. Dobbins. And then you also have to factor in throwing the ball. Like, how many plays a game does a team get? 60?
Right. I would still be feeding that guy 15 times a game.
And maybe it's a thing where, like, he's having trouble picking up the pass pro stuff.
Definitely.
Or, you know, because that's what you usually see with young running backs who aren't seeing the field.
Right. For sure. For sure. So, yeah. All right. Okay. Let's cap it off real quick. Let's do the highlight HUD game of the week preview. Arizona Buffalo. You have picked Arizona. I got Buffalo.
I'm stoked for this game. I think it's like a heavyweight fight, you know, like two teams that are really good, really different styles, and it's going to be cool to see how they stack up against each other. Like you got the spread offense in Arizona, you got the like kind of smash mouth play action offense in Buffalo. But what I think it comes down to is Buffalo's defense has kind of not played very well lately. And Arizona's defense has played above what you expect them to play. Like they've kind of overachieved from what I thought Arizona's defense would be. I'm like, okay, yeah, this offense is going to be fun to watch, but their defense sucks.
Right.
But their defense has kind of played really well.
Right.
And their offense is obviously really talented. They got a creative head coach. And so that's why I'm going Arizona, but I think it's going to be a great game. And it's going to come down to like whoever has the ball last, I think.
Yeah. In a close game like that, if it really turns out to that, Arizona might have the slight edge because I think they perform a little bit better in clutch situations. But see, to me, I think Buffalo's defense last week performed great against Russell Wilson and the Seahawks.
Yeah,
right?
the start.
So I like them, and I really think Josh Allen is a different beast in terms of his athleticism. I think they're dealing with Russ in that division, who's more of a shifty, slice you up, big arm, but I think they're going to be in for... I think Josh Allen's the kind of guy where you're hearing about him. We've went through it where you're you see this, he's 6'5" on the stat sheet, and you're like, oh, whatever. And then you walk up to the guy in pregame, and you're like, dude, your wrists are giant, your legs are...
just like a dude.
I think there's going to be a bit of that realization when they come rolling into Arizona where they're like, okay, this guy is a freak, and I think Patrick Peterson's going to have a tough time against Stephon Diggs, personally.
I don't think Patrick Peterson will line up on Diggs.
No?
He's kind of, his athleticism has kind of waned a little bit, and I think they're going to be putting Byron Murphy on Stephon Diggs.
Yeah. Him and that long jump of his.
No, that's Byron Jones. On the Dolphins. Byron Murphy he's a second-year guy from Washington.
Accidente Lasardo.
Shout out Dante Lasardo.
Hey, O-line. Legend. But score prediction. Last thing.
Give me 31-28 Arizona.
31-28 Arizona. Give me 34-28 Buff. I got those Buffs. Thanks for listening. Appreciate your patronage.
Yeah, keep donating all your money to us, please.
We're going to forward it right to Joseph Coney, 2012.
It's for a good cause.
It is. But yeah.
Forwarding it to Joseph Coney. Here you go, man.
But yeah, check us out. Subscribe to the YouTube page. Helps us out a lot. Like the video. Comment your picks.
You don't even have to watch. Just click on it to give us the view.
Just play it and put it on repeat. We need the clicks. We need the views.
We need the algorithm to pick us up, you know?
Who knows? But yeah, thanks a lot, and we'll check you out next time.
That's the end of regulation.
Producing The Little
Overtime.
Giants
No.
Podcast. Brought to you by
Later.
Hilitehub
Hosted by Elric Allison.
and Joey Riccatoni.
Down, set.
He drops back to pass.
Oh, and he strip sack. It's a fumble.
He could go all the way.
Touchdown.
That's how winning is done. That's why we lift all them weights.
It's a game of inches, gentlemen.
Respect is earned.
Left side.
The Little Giants. Your team sucks, see?